Won the MAC championship, Ball State in 2009. Toledo did it 2 years ago in 2023. Let's say hello to the third member of our team, Haley.
Game plan is the same as it was yesterday, to come out and play simple Rocket basketball.
All right, Haley, great stuff. We'll look at the start for tip. And it's the Cardinals with control. Our officials, Michael McConnell, Angie Enlund, and Maggie Teeman.
I think these are early important possessions right here, especially for Toledo. They had the slow start offensively yesterday in the semis against Buffalo. They held it together with their consistent defense, but Ball State is going to be in attack mode from the get-go.
Alex Richard off the mark, and a rebound by Kendall Carruthers. And Toledo's going to get its first attack on offense. There's Garcia, the MAC Sixth Player of the Year. And she has a gregarious personality, was fun to meet with. Markanowitz gets it over to Goss. Carruthers handles it, shot clock down to 5. Man, she saw it, pulling back for a deep three.
An issue yesterday against Buffalo in the semifinals. The Buffalo squad is going to create chaos. That's exactly what they did. They turned this Toledo squad over 24 times. A lot of those were shot clock violations, especially in the first half. That's where they struggled. So you've got to get that continuity, more movement in the offensive side of the floor.
Cardinals 26-7 overall this year, 16-2 in the MAC. Meanwhile for Toledo, 24-7. And they finished 13-5. Marie Kiefer on top. MAC Defensive Player of the Year. Becky, deflected by the Pirates. And the Rockets coming back the other way.
They live by their defense. It has been what they have preached all season.
Pass from the corner.
She's going to continue to be a scorer for them. She was 8 of 10 from the free throw line against Buffalo. 6 points, 5 assists in the quarters. One of those consistent playmakers, an all-conference honorable mention selection.
And Becky just loses her footing.
I think Allie Becky's got to continue to be assertive, Fran, from the get-go. They started strong, 20-8 in the first quarter. In their semifinal win, Toledo did not have that offensive success.
McConnell, the quick first step on Becky. There it goes.
You're going to see a lot of different looks defensively by Ball State, in the sense that they are going to throw some different traps. They don't want to get people in the paint. But Allie Becky has taken a shot here. You're going to see the early three that's going to come from Toledo. That is pass and relocation. Going the other direction. Becky just able to spin and finish what she's done all season. But she's a little bit shaken up. I think she took an elbow a bit. A lot of contact in the post. That's a tough matchup at 5'8", giving up a bit of size. But you're going to see some of those changes in switches.
Preseason All-MAC team, and also finished this year on the second MAC team. In the corner from Madeline Bischoff into Marie Kiefer. And Kiefer loses the handle, but it can stay down. And the Cardinals will retain possession. Good defense there by McConnowitz.
Well, they understand that they've got to be able to be in good position. You've got to be rebounders. You've got to win the matchups. One of those key matchups is against Kiefer, not to allow her to operate inside.
Strong move to the paint by Marie Kiefer. And the Cardinals pulled within 1.
Ball State known for their execution on out-of-bounds underneath. They want quick scores, easy buckets.
Dykstra working on Becky in the paint. And they call traveling. She was trying to keep her pivot foot.
The Ball State coaching staff preaches 3 things defensively. No paint, no post, no middle. They did exactly that on the turnover. Kiefer's going to be able to catch on that last out-of-bounds underneath, where this team excels. Quick buckets, easy scores.
Kiefer, the 6'2" senior from Alexandria, Kentucky. And a foul called on the Rockets.
I think that is going to be a concern, Fran, for this Toledo coaching staff, is they've got to be able to keep their key players out of foul trouble. You cannot allow those chippy fouls, whether it's going to be in the post, out front. You got to continue to be aggressive. But McConnowitz, Garcia, they got a lot of big minutes here this afternoon.
And a tough defensive assignment for McConnowitz as Richard, that's her spot, the 8-footer. McConnowitz has to deal with Kiefer. McConnowitz 5'10", Kiefer 6'2".
Yeah, a lot of that is going to be a mismatch, and you're going to see it, especially on the switches, which Toledo will do defensively.
Destiny Robinson in the game, the freshman from Fremont, Ohio.
One thing we'll see a lot of today from Toledo, while they spread the floor, a lot of high-low looks, they're going to go for the backdoor, back cut. They know movement without the basketball critical against this Cardinal defense.
Garcia started her college career at Penn State. But she is the unequivocal leader of the Rockets, working on Richard. Strong move to the paint, but Richard stands tall. And here come the Cardinals, and then McConowitz comes up with a loose ball.
Transition defense, be able to get back and find the basketball.
Carruthers try to get Becky to foul her.
High intensity right now, Fran. And Alex Richard with a big block. And Coach said yesterday she's turned in to a very good defensive player for this Cardinal squad. And this is a young lady who, keep in mind, her career high, 33. She dropped against, by the way, Toledo back in February. So she can score against this team, but set the tone with her defense.
Also a MAC Player of the Week honor, the final week of the regular season, so she's been playing exceptionally well. Michelle Austin, Missy talked about her earlier. Richard, told you that's her spot. The mid-range game, she was a little cold in the semifinal game, but she's worked things out early on.
Yeah, she was 17 points in that quarterfinals, 8 of 12, high efficiency, but they've got to continue to get her those ISOs down low.
In the corner, Kira Goss is off the mark. And the Cardinals coming back the other way.
You're looking for one player to help spark this Toledo offense. It's got to be Kira Goss. Hit threes yesterday. 9 points, 2 of 3 from behind the arc. They've got to find her as they spread the floor.
Deep pass to Cook. Oh, nice fake by Goss. But you can't get it to go, and it's Richard with the rebound.
And the one-and-done mentality has set in for Ball State. No second chances right now for Toledo on the offensive glass.
6-0 run right now for Ball State, up 8-5 in the first. And that ball deflected by Robinson, and here comes Goss. No foul, and that ball is lost out of bounds, so Becky doing a good job. Double, by the way, in the semifinal, did Allie Becky.
Well, you mentioned the defensive effort, a member of the All-MAC defensive team as well this season. Marie Kiffer, she was the defensive player of the year for Ball State. Inside, has set the old times block.
So some early subs here in the first quarter. Lee Stucks coming in here. There's the Cardinals in the white. And the Rockets in the gold. Also, we've got Hannon Oborowski for the Rockets.
Lee Stuck coming into the lineup at 6'1", gives Ball State some size at that swing position.
That's Oborowski down low. Gets her on a rebound, but then loses it out of bounds. All right, so
Guys, she told us the best gift of all would be a championship trophy and a trip to the big dance.
She's won so many accolades. Great job, Haley. And she says some of the most memorable moments are when her teammates show up big as well.
And that's what they've had really all season, Fran. When you think about the balance of this team, see Kiefer being able to step out and shoot that three. It extends the defense. A few nerves here, I think, from both teams in the first couple minutes of this quarter, but now you've got to settle in.
Oh, up ahead, MJ Johnson. Quick hands coming back the other way for the Rockets.
McConowitz is going to bring hustle on every play. We said it, the true leader, both emotionally and I think is very much the vocal leader for this Toledo squad.
Robinson in the corner, and Carruthers will reset. Oborowski, Robinson, shot clock down 5. That is faith-fed. Robinson doesn't go. She made the all-freshman team this year.
Another defensive rebound for Ball State. They come into this as the top defensive rebounding team in conference play this season. They have locked down the glass. They need some second chances on this end, though, to kind of generate those second opportunities.
And so Kiefer off the block there. During the month of March, CBS Sports celebrates women's history, honoring the role of women, inspiring generations to move forward together. And a lot of women in the crowd today cheer on These two strong teams, 1 and 2 in the MAC. Both these teams playing great basketball. As Ball State's won 6 in a row. Meanwhile, it's 12 of the last 14 for the Rockets.
We started the season 10-2 with an incredibly challenging non-conference schedule. Set them up for life in the MAC and understanding what it would mean to win in this kind of position.
Ben Robinson, the 5'11 freshman from Newark, glides down the lane with their left. And it's a 1-point Cardinals lead. Look at Becky, great patience.
That's what she does. She keeps that dribble alive, and you love to see that, but it doesn't happen overnight. And now some pressure out front, miscommunication by Toledo, and this is where Ball State has to capitalize.
Elise Stuck, transfer from Michigan. She gets her first bucket of the ball game.
Gave him just over 15 minutes yesterday in the semis. Did not score, but keep in mind, she's been to 4 NCAA tournaments on that Michigan squad. Now would love to make it a 5.
Yeah, it's got that great experience. Charlevoix, Michigan. Good quick hands from Austin. Shot clock down to 5. Inside, Nan Garcia. Great work by Johnson and Kiefer, and Becky comes back the other way.
Garcia's going to draw a ton of attention in that low block. Double, triple team every time on the catch.
Great pass down low. Look at the ball movement. Johnson to Kiefer, but Kiefer can't connect. And McConowitz, she wants to run. Goss for 3. Yes!
Big bucket right there for Toledo. You create some offense with your defense. You get the stop. You've got to get out and run. They love life in transition.
159th game for Carazon. And Johnson, the call with the charge. A little too much English. Into Garcia.
Great defense on the other end. You're going to see how Nan Garcia is going to draw so much of attention. But off the miss, going the other way. Goss steps up. We said it yesterday. 9 points, 2 of 3 from behind the field against Buffalo. Gave them a lift, especially in the second half. She is their top 3-point threat, a career 35% shooter. To get a feed off that energy and makes.
And Cook to Dykstra. Goss. Robinson inside. It's deep for Cook, and she gets it to go in the left hand.
Man, I thought Jessica Cook was a huge factor in that second half yesterday in that comeback win against Buffalo. She was big, she's got great position, rebounds, and can finish.
Stuck comes up short. We're knotted up at 12. Good action here in the first quarter. Dykstra shakes Austin. Pretty move. Can't get it to go.
They're going to call Dykstra for the offensive foul. Good defense. Last bucket comes from Jessica Cook deep into that lane. 58% in conference play this season. Down low, able to finish and super efficient. And at her size at 6'2", she's going to be able to be more muscle. She's got to be able to be a rebounder, take up space, pin deep on the offensive end.
Yeah, Cook, one of those seniors on the squad. Great pass from Becky. And Richard set out of bounds, but the Rockets got their hands on it. Cook, one of those seniors, and players in their final year of eligibility. They were on the championship team a couple years ago, and also they won 3 straight regular season titles as well.
Well, you get a taste of it, and so that's what you want to have. And they have delivered that message to the younger players on this team about what it takes. So think about that. 9 freshmen and sophomores on this roster for Toledo. So this is new experience. This is new territory for them. The seniors have the ability to lead the way. They've got a first-year head coach here. Not her first year as a head coach, but first year at Toledo. Understands what it takes to get to the tournament and does not want to have this be the last stop for this experienced senior class.
Jenny Vargas did a great job at Monmouth as they were checking out, make sure who that ball was off, but did a great job at Monmouth. Inherited a 2-win team, and then 2 years later, they were in the NCAA tournament. And so she knew, she was so happy. She told us that a lot of the older players stayed. They could have left, but they hung in there. And then she challenged them, and they were more than ready for the challenge. Come on, Cook. Just muscles her way in there and says, count it.
She had 8 points yesterday in that semifinal win, 4 or 5 from the field, but now she's got 4 here in the first quarter.
Toledo on a 7-0 run. They're up by a deuce. In good hands. by Fenn Robinson.
They are active, incredibly active out front. You're going to get that pressure. Now they know they've got to win the matchup. You've got to be able to understand your personnel. They don't want to overrun shooters. You got to be in the right space, and you got to be in help side. I think this has been a very good first 10 minutes here so far defensively for the Rockets.
30 seconds left in the first quarter. Madeline Bischoff is stuck. That's a free throw, and she banks it home off the back of the rim. Final seconds, shot clock off here in the first quarter. Got a great one. The MAC Women's Basketball Championship, the winner, and headed to the NCAA tournament. Dykstra with 5 on the clock. Carruthers gonna have to let it go. And it's short. But we're right. 2 points.
Well, I think it was such a struggle, and you got to give credit. Buffalo's defense was great, especially in that second quarter. They forced this Toledo squad into a lot of tough guarded twos, as well as some shot clock violations and tough turnovers. But here's where I think the emphasis on execution has to be. They've got to be better in the half court in terms of their cuts. You've got to make the reads, and they've got to find and knock down open shots.
Dykstra working on Becky. Strong move by Cadence Dykstra.
The 5'8" sophomore started 13 conference games this year. She's got three-point range, but right now you see her take it off the dribble penetration and attack.
Becky, deep three-point range. And that's off on the mark.
That's a guarded three by Allie Becky with a hand in her face. The last possession is going to be all about Dykstra. As we said, the sophomore not afraid to mix it up. She can spread the floor from three, but that penetration critical to get downhill.
And these two teams, they split during the regular season as Goss is called for steps.
Both of those games, I think, Fran, just kind of had different feels to them. You know, one was a big win by Ball State, but then a 4-point win for Toledo. They went 3 of 11 from 3. The Rockets did. Today, so far, they're 2 of 6. They've opened it up from deep.
That was the last loss for Ball State against Toledo, and Allie, she told us it really opened her eyes and the rest of the team to kind of refocus at that point.
Sometimes you've got to have and hit that reset button even in the middle of the season. I think it helped them propel themselves to that regular season championship, but then understanding big goals, big aspirations, those are here today.
Garcia, the head fake. She was looking for Dykstra underneath, a little too high. And Becky took another shot.
Yeah, that's 2.
Upstairs.
Yeah, we've seen 2 here already for Allie Becky, and she's going to go down in position. Garcia trying to make that pass. She's going to take an elbow straight across the face. That is incidental contact for those that are wondering. But now I think they're trying to make a decision whether or not the trainer's going to go out there. If the trainer goes out, then she's going to have to come out of the game. They're giving it a moment. Looks like they're going to take a timeout here, and Allie Becky's going to...
We've got a full day of hoops for you. As you see, Allie is doing just fine. Back in the game. Richard with a strong drive. Keeper, move those feet.
Yeah, too quick in the perimeter, and if you're keeper, you've got to be able to allow the official to see that pivot foot set. A couple uncharacteristic turnovers, I think, here for Ball State in the first half. Trying to find a flow, but give credit, this Toledo defense has been aggressive.
Yeah, saw a shot of Cardinals head coach Brady Salary in his 13th year, done a tremendous job. 8 20-win seasons. Of course, trying to get their second MAC title. Goss, 5 on the clock. Man's going to have to put it up. Working on keeper. There's a foul called on the floor.
The question is going to be whether or not Allie Becky steps in to take the charge on Nan Garcia, and whether or not, though, it will be a shot clock violation prior to that of everything. We said it at the very top, whether it's to score, to distribute. A member of the all-defensive team in the MAC this season.
So let's take a look.
If you look in that background there.
The ruling of an offensive foul on the floor is confirmed.
Yes. She does not. That contact happens before the shot clock goes off. And that is a foul against Garcia, who, as we said at the top, this Toledo coaching staff very aware that they have to be able to keep their star players out of foul trouble and on the floor for as many minutes as possible here this afternoon.
How about Becky, by the way, after getting clubbed a couple of times in the face, and she's able to stand in there and take that charge.
Hey,
so
you want to get to the
baller.
NCAA tournament, Fran, you got to figure out a way to make a play, right?
Toledo with 3 turnovers in the second quarter. They're still up by 2. And Richard kicks it over to Kiefer. Can still shoot and let it rip, so she's missed her last 3 shots from the perimeter, trying to get hot. And Garcia all the way across the court. Then Robinson. Oh, nice spin move on Bishop, but it's a little too strong.
She can't finish, and that's where the freshman has got to be able to get inside, handle contact, and finish. Possession Toledo wants back.
Bischoff with the sweep pass to Kiefer. And they call an offensive foul. Coming the other way.
Kiefer's going to go strong to the bucket, but Nan Garcia in help side.
No shot.
Able to come from the right side and be in position. A collision underneath. As we have seen, this has been an incredibly physical game so far for both of these teams. Star players taking shots. Nan Garcia, one of those emotional senior leaders. She's going to head to the bench, but those are the types of momentum plays, especially with your defense. And it forces Kiefer to the bench as well. Those are ones we are going to want to circle and come back to later on in this matchup.
And so Garcia's going to get a break. How about Destiny Robinson? That's off the mark. Jessica Cook, by the way, in for Garcia. McConowitz had it, lost it, got it back. And now,
Held ball.
the hell ball in the Cardinals.
Possession to Ball State.
Another one of those kind of struggle possessions, I think, on the offensive end for Toledo. Coming into this game and into the conference tournament, this group has averaged just shy of 70 points a game. They could score, but also understand you got to win with your defense, but they've got to have better execution on the offensive end.
Lee Stuck back in the ball game for the Cardinals. Austin working on Goss. Stuck. Good step, first move. She shook McConowitz, but McConowitz is there for the board.
And Stuck can give them a lift offensively off the bench. She had injury issues this year, dealt with a concussion, had some foot problems, played just 8 conference games. But she had 12 double-figure appearances so far this season for Ball State, so she can score.
Kara Goss off the mark, rebounded by Alex Richard, a senior from Indiana. Becky gets the first step and connects. Becky.
It's where she's so good, Fran. She's going to put you on your hip and turn the corner. And you've got to be able to have someone there on the weak side. If you're Toledo, you've got to be able to get in front. You got to rub off those ball screens. Don't give her the space.
Both these 2 teams talked about their toughness and their grit, getting all the way here. The championship matchup on display today. Good pass down low inside Goss to McConowitz, and she falls hard to the floor.
Another hard foul on both ends. Allie Becky just able to turn that corner. Destiny Robinson, the 5'7" freshman, a bit out of position. She's late trying to get over the screen. And that's where the senior is going to have such great court awareness. She understands where that space is. Doesn't pick or dribble up in traffic and is able to finish. One of the reasons why, many reasons, she is the 2024 MAC Player of the Year.
Sammy McConowitz, she does it all. 5'10" from Rossford, Ohio. She came into this matchup as the all-time leading rebounder in Toledo history. So Jenny Vargas was happy that she stuck around. Not only that, she's got over 1,000 career points. So she has been a joy to watch, develop. And she even told us, you know, Coach Vargas told her, hey, when she got the job, she said, you guys have been great, Nan and Sammy, but I need more from you guys.
Absolutely. You look at what Ball State has been able to do. They had 34 in the first half yesterday, just 16 here so far. And good credit, this Toledo defense has been incredibly active. They've been in good position when they've needed to be on mismatches.
Stuck couldn't finish after the sweet dish from Becky. Cook to Ben Robinson. Goss is going to set it up. She works on Austin. Shot clock down to 5. Carruthers. Goss lets it fly. Carol Goss.
Big bucket right there from the 5'9" grad student. Home is Indianapolis, Indiana, but knocks down a huge three there. She had a season-high 23 against Ohio. Hit 2 big threes yesterday. Coming up strong here in the first half.
In the corner, it's Bischoff, and Ben Robinson got a piece of it. Stuck, though, with the rebound. And the foul. Oh, he's stuck. And now, Billy, he didn't like the call. He was fighting. He was talking to McConnell. And Sally told us yesterday, hey, look, doesn't matter what the score is, what we're on the game. I'm fighting for my girls.
You have to, and they understand what is at stake. Players do, coaches do. Emotions are high, tempers will flare, and we are just midway through the second quarter here.
Toledo had its biggest lead of the game for 2016, but Ball State has crawled back. Cook all alone at the top of the key. Here's Ben Robinson deep in the paint. And again, good defense by the Cardinals, deep in the shot clock from the elbow. Ben Robinson way off. And we're going the other way.
One of the things I noticed yesterday against Buffalo for this Toledo offense, Fran, is it felt a little bit like football. They were north and south. You've got to be east and west. They've got to be able to go up and down. I think the opportunity for them to not give themselves that factor. They've got to be able to turn the corner. They've got to be more aggressive off the bounce. Side to side isn't going to do it. Against Ball State, you've got to get to the paint. You've got to be in attack mode.
Ely's Cole checking the game for the Rockets. That last ball was on Cook, by the way. Austin down corner. And Malina Johnson. Bischoff now top of the key. Jump step. And she just loses her footing. And we got no ball. That'll go to Toledo.
Ton of traffic. I love the fact that these Ball State players play off 2 feet when they put it on the floor and attack into the paint. But that's 3 yellow jerseys there. You've got to be able to understand and read that. If more than one is on you, someone else is open. That's got to be the dish on the relocate for the Cardinals.
Nan Garcia back in the game, so good job by Jessica Cook to sub her teammate and let Nan clear ahead a little bit. Carruthers, Goss up top, and again deep in the shot clock. And Garcia's got to go. Skip pass. Yeah, that's a shot clock violation. So again, Toledo just having a little bit of trouble here finding some open space.
Yeah, that really kind of stagnant possessions, as we said. This offense has got to go north and south. Buffalo pushed them east-west, really made them perimeter, pushed them 25, 35 feet away from the basket. If you can't turn the corner on this Ball State defense, it's going to be a struggle here this afternoon. They've got to figure out a way, those back doors, maybe more ball screens, give themselves a little bit more action. But right now, the Cardinals defense is locked in.
Second shot clock violation for the Rockets. Richard, and that won't go. Struggled a little bit with their mid-range shot. That's where she likes to let it. The release. Carruthers to Garcia. Working on Stuck. Oh, good defense by Richard, who got a hand on it. Here comes Austin. She's going to stop and pop for 3. And it won't go. Loose ball. It goes right to the star. Allie Becky, nice move on Nan Garcia. That was smooth.
Seas parted, and she had a wide-open penetration lane. No one in help side, but those are broken plays and scramble plays. One of the places Allie Becky thrives in the half court.
The Cardinals regain the lead, 21-20. About 45 left in the first half. Oh! Carruthers scrapes the sky.
That's an answer right there from the sophomore. An honorable mention all-conference selection this year. She came to Toledo, came back home. She spent a year at St. Francis out in Pennsylvania. They needed a playmaker. They found it in Carruthers.
Richard, great position on Garcia, but it won't go. And Garcia comes up with the rebound.
Got to hold your ground, and she did exactly that against Alex Richard.
Man, thought about a deep three. 1:05 left here in the first half. We got a great MAC championship for you. It's been a physical battle. Goss inside of McConowitz, who loses the handle. Under a minute. And the Rockets up 2, 1 possession game. Austin spins. And loses it. And a reminder, Brent Stover, Roy Hibbert, Ice Young, and John Rothstein. They're standing by in our New York studio to give you a preview of the games coming up on CBS Sports Network later today. That's coming up on AT&T at the half. In yesterday's semi, Brady Salih, Cardinals were down, and he said at halftime, he didn't have to say much. The girls kind of took care of business themselves, and they came out in the third quarter on fire. As Stuck loses it, McConowitz coming the other way. Great pass. Oh, Ben Robinson with a nice fake. And draws a foul on Austin.
Would love to have had that one go, the all-freshman team selection, and Faith Bed, but Carruthers able to knock down a three. Finds her footing in that half court. One of those players who has been uber consistent all season, I think, for Toledo. Shot 38% from three coming into this game. She had a string of 10 double-figure games out of 11 midway through the MAC conference season. When you can get that type of contribution from your point guard in Carruthers, it's a huge lift for the Rockets.
Ben Robinson at the game tying and a winning basket against Mercyhurst in early December. She gives Toledo a 3-point lead. Toledo, 6 steals, by the way, so far in the game. So again, active hands, and that's paid dividends early on.
Turnover numbers have gone up, Fran. You've got 10 for Ball State, 12 for Toledo here as you go down to the end of this first half.
Yeah, about 15 seconds left. 10 on the shot clock. Kiefer making a strong move to reverse. Well, almost tipped up. And Becky battling for it.
I think they're going to get a whistle against Allie Becky on the reach. That'll be a first personal foul, but trying to mix it up in off the miss. Kiefer comes in late here into the second quarter, dealing with that foul trouble. But Becky just clears out Dykstra. Ball goes down, too much hands. Trying to get in there on Cole, the 6'2 freshman, making a hustle play.
I miss you. So if you're Toledo, what are you doing here?
You've got to go quick. You've got 8 seconds. You don't take the timeout. No reason to burn it. But you got to get up the floor. You're looking for one of your shooters or attack.
Carruthers, Becky, good defense. Ben Robinson's got to let it go for 3. It'll count if it goes. And it's off the mark.
Your opportunity for postseason play.
Kiefer off the mark for 3, but Richard is there for the rebound. And Becky in traffic, just had it ripped away. Forward steal by McConowitz, who gets it up ahead to Caragos.
You mentioned it in half, Fran. You do the little things, and that's what McConowitz has done. Great defensive philosophy. Stay in the lane. Understand when Becky puts it on the floor, they've got to be in help.
The biggest lead of the afternoon for the Rockets, up 5 here in the third. Austin can't get it to go, but Richard is right there with the putback.
That's one of the players that's got to get going here. We mentioned it at the top, a career-high 33 when these two teams matched up in February. She had a quiet first half. You got to be assertive, and you've got to be aggressive, especially in that low block.
And Garcia, a step back, and it won't go. And Austin comes down with a rebound.
Brady Salih told us yesterday after the semifinal win, the team that is the toughest, that wins these 50-50 possessions, is going to come out on top here this afternoon. I think that's what you have to see in the next 20 minutes.
Alex Richard again off the mark, but we've got a foul, and that's against Toledo.
Their defense continues to tighten up as they did in the first half. They caused double-digit turnovers, one there by Allie Becky. That's going to be her 5th. But you get it out in transition. A key for the Rockets all year, create offense with your defense, go fast, play with pace. They've done that here early to start the third.
Bischoff working on Carruthers. And Carruthers, again, it's a great job of getting their hand in there. And Bischoff couldn't get the shot off.
I just love how active these guards have been for Toledo, Fran, without fouling. They've done a great job of being in good position. You've got to keep the penetration in front.
And Becky in the paint, spins down low. Good footwork, in and out. Richard just rips it away and puts it back in the hole.
She's had 2 buckets now here early in this third quarter. Has got to continue to be a force on the glass. A nose for the basketball. She's got to go get herself some.
And what a shake by Carruthers. And glides in for the deuce.
It was interesting to listen to Toledo talk at halftime before they went into the break about pace.
Kiefer is going to continue to let it fly. That one connects. Her first 3 of the afternoon.
Now all of a sudden the pace is going both directions. Toledo can be really good in the open floor, but that 3-point shot, the first for Ball State here in this game, opens the floor.
And we saw Ball State have a great third quarter against Kent State in the semifinal as Garcia can't put home the putback. And it's Austin. Oh, tough shot against Goss. Check that Carruthers, and it goes.
She lit them up from 3 in the semifinals to be able to get their team here to this last season game. But to be able to put it on the floor and force action, Ball State's got to be the aggressor.
9-2 run for the Cardinals here in the third. Garcia down deep underneath, kicks it back out. There's Goss, and it's another 3. It's her third of the afternoon.
You have to be able to answer, and that's what both of these teams are going to have to do here in the second half. You got to match possessions, avoid the droughts.
Goss did a great job of shutting down Chella Watson of Buffalo in the semis. A great move by Alex Richard.
She has woken up here in the second half. Was not much of a factor in the first, but whatever that speech was at halftime, they understand what's at stake. Their postgame's got to come to play.
McConowitz for 3. In and out. Good box out from Becky.
It's got to be one and done. Do not give Toledo second chance opportunities.
Remember Austin, she had 21 in the semi. Won't go on the step back 3. McConnell with a little rebound, and it's Dykstra on the move.
You wonder where this pace can be. And you see some substitutions waiting over at the scorer's table, but this has been a quick start to the third for both of these teams, Fran.
Ball State up by 1, trying to win the second MAC championship in school history. McConnell fades away on the top of Kiefer and gets it to go.
I think she's played undersized her entire career, just at 5'10", but you can see the step back.
And Allie Becky continues the intensity. Tomorrow at 7 Eastern, join our Hoops crew. They break down this year's men's NCAA tournament bracket. Who got in and whose bubble burst on NCAA March Madness bracket breakdown. It's right here on CBS Network. Allie Becky, you name it, she's done it. MAC Player of the Year, we mentioned that. She's been all MAC all 4 years, all defensive team. 7th player in NCAA history. How about this? 16,000 points, 700 rebounds, 700 assists.
Yeah, you rack up the numbers. It can happen in a quick hurry. And one of the ways she has done it, she's 87% from the free throw line this season. When you're the aggressor, when you know that you can get to the rim, when you can force action, then all of a sudden you make teams pay for putting you at the free throw line. Allie Becky's done that this year and throughout her entire career.
Such a complete player, too. Leads the program in assists, and it just tells you everything you need to know. She's a scorer, but she also wants to put her teammates in the best possible position to be successful. As does Sammy McConnell. Working on Kiefer again. How about the underhand scoop? And it's Cook. She just couldn't squeeze him. You see how hard McConnell has to work with the 6'2" Kiefer inside.
Well, and that's one of the things with Marie Kiefer and her ability to block shots. You got to be aware of that. That rim protection is huge.
And Austin kind of lowered her shoulder.
It looks as though the foul is going to go against against Austin. A ton of contact there against Sammy McConowitz. She took a couple hard falls yesterday in their semifinal game. That's not the first one she's had here in this one. The Ball State bench didn't necessarily agree with that call, but they're going the other directions. Another stop with this Toledo D.
And that is 2 on Austin. We've seen a lot of bodies on the floor. This player's willing to take charges as Carruthers gets down deep, turns around. Oh, that hits. That was pretty.
Playmaker, that's what her coach said she was. They went into the portal, they brought the hometown kid back, and she has made a name for herself. In a position, Fran, where they can open the floor, that gives you more penetration looks. The 3 ball, it could shoot you in a game, and it could shoot you out.
How about this? 10 lead changes for the game. 6 alone in the third quarter. Step back for Becky, and it rattles in and out, and it's Cook. And he comes away with a rock.
More big minutes from Jessica Cook coming in off the bench. She's made 28 starts this year, but when Nan Garcia went into the starting lineup here in this tournament, she's made the most of her minutes coming in off the bench.
Inside to Cook. Gets it out to Fed Robinson. How about Bowl for 3? The lefty can't get it to go. Knocked out of bounds by the Cardinals.
That was great ball movement, though, by Toledo. That was ball inside, outside, which is what you have to do. You've got to make this Ball State defense shift. They've got to be able to make them move, maybe necessarily on the pass, but on the catch. You get them a step slower, that's when you take advantage.
Jessica Cook doing a great job giving Nan Garcia blood. Carruthers again. Oh, yeah. It's pure. She's feeling it.
The sophomore coming to play here in the second half, giving him a big lift and opening the floor yet again from behind that 3-point line.
And the lead up to 4 for Toledo. Richard with the first step on Cole. Hey, you know what? We got a battle going on here. Great bank home by Alex Richard.
Youngsters making shots for Toledo, and then the veteran seniors and Alex Richard. Not a big first half, but she's come to play in the second.
Cook finds some room. A couple of years ago, she was on the all-defensive team and a team captain. Oh, good look by Becky inside to Kiefer, and Kiefer can't get to the roll.
Carruthers was able to step behind that 3-point line. Great ball movement by the Rockets. And this Toledo understand, they see where all of this happens. They've got to continue to make plays.
All right, third foul on Cook. And as we check back in with Haley, and Carruthers off to a great start.
Well, Coach and Carruthers kind of had an interesting interaction in the first half, a little bit of a miscommunication, and Coach looked at her and said, lock in. So then after she just hit that big play, Coach turned to the bench, she high-fived her assistant coach, and she said, that's what we're looking for out of Carruthers in this game.
All MAC honorable mention for this past season for her work, and Missy told you, and transferred from St. Francis. Haley, good stuff.
They said she was a playmaker. They wanted someone to be able to help run this team, give them that depth in different ways, and she has stepped up here this afternoon in this final.
Fed Robinson, strong to the rack, and it won't go. Austin back in, and on the break.
You can see the versatility and the athleticism, Fran, of Fed Robinson, the freshman. Hasn't been able to score too much this afternoon, but does give them that added lift off the bench.
She got a little too in front. Becky with the drive. It doesn't go. Tip back out to Austin and Richard. That is deep. Cook! And a hell ball. The possession stays with the Cardinals. But Cook, she has 3 fouls.
Big minutes continue to rack up for Jessica Cook. All ball there as Alex Richard could have possibly maybe turned back over that other shoulder, get her to go one direction, create that contact. Instead, tried to go right through. But that jump ball is headed toward Toledo, and the defensive stands that the Rockets have had to make in the post where you put yourself maybe out of position. You want to stay out of foul trouble as best you can. But a huge lift from the 6'2" senior, Jessica Cook.
They're talking things over here. Cook, by the way, a couple years ago in the championship game against Bowling Green, 16.7 rebounds in the title game. She made the all-Mac tourney team, so she's been here before and knows her role.
We're looking for unsung heroes, those X factors, to step up and gain big games like today.
2:30 left in the third quarter. Toledo by Deuce. Robinson shakes keeper and then switches to the right hand. Look at the rebound on the Pirates, and she's fouled by keeper. Sammy does it all.
She got inside position, and that's what you have to do. We said it at the top. A nose for the basketball. You do not become the all-time rebounder in Toledo history without a little bit of fight. 70% hard, 30% position when it comes to offensive rebounding, and you see it all right there from the fifth-year senior.
Conowitz gets the party started, gets the ball right back. At least stuck, bodies are up down low. Toss to Garcia. Strong.
Of the game.
Ball State in the bonus. Both these teams doing a good job not fouling in those situations too down low. Just keeping their hands straight up. Richard fades away, and it's good. And now, a couple of players tied up. And stuck in McConowitz.
Ball goes in, Richards with that, and it was a little bit of a hook there. Could have very well win by McConowitz. They get tied up. Looks as though the officials are going to send the two back to their bench.
Missy, just explain what happened there. We were in break.
There was a double foul that was assessed after the mix-up between McConowitz and Stuck. They would go to resumption of play, which that had been made by Ball State, so it was Toledo's basketball.
Fed Robinson misses the bunny there. And Stuck comes back on the other end. Austin for three. It's good. Michelle Austin at 21 in the semifinal game, and now she's heating up.
She went 4 of 6 from behind that three-point line. Really helped Ball State extend that lead that they needed in the semis. We talked about how good this backcourt has been all year. They've proven it here in the third quarter.
7-0 run by Ball State. Toledo, though, is taking better care of the ball. They had 12 first-half turnovers, none in the third. Down low, Goss. Working on Stuck. And runs out of room. Shot clock down to 5. Fed Robinson's got to go. Garcia down the lane. Did she get it off in time? And Michael McDonald says no.
Happened in the first half to Toledo when they get stagnant, is that you're going to get those shot clock violations. But this last three by Austin opens the floor. She saw it in transition, waited. No one comes out to contest. And the 5'7" senior knocks it down. She's a transfer from Eastern Michigan, said she knew it was the right place for her when she met this team. And this is the place she wanted to be this season.
Yeah, third shot clock violation for the Rockets. So good defense. And once again, Ball State has put together a dynamite third quarter, up by 3. Becky's going to drain the shot clock here. And now they're on the move. Trying to get free. Shot clock down to 2. Got to go. Steps back. And misses everything. So not, I'm sure, the play that Coach Sally had drawn up and wanted. But when your superstar takes control of the floor, you just got to roll with it.
Yeah, you want her to have the ball in her hands. This is a big possession, though, right here for Toledo to close this third.
Carruthers. Fed Robinson from the corner. And it won't go. That is number 400 for his career. His 13th season here, but 21 years overall. There's a foul on Carruthers, actually. It's called for the foul.
Ball State ended, as we saw there with Coach in that interview, they ended the half, or excuse me, ended the third quarter on a run.
So much of it spearheaded by Alex Richard. She had 10 points in that third quarter. She went 5 of 6 from the field, 14.7 boards, ball in her hand now, making plays here to start the fourth.
Richard knocks it home and quickly traveling on Carruthers. No foul there. 45 Toledo, and now Ball State. They've got their biggest lead of the contest. Lakonowitz back out to Goss. Oh, look at Cook underneath. Puts it back up and in.
Great position, able to just find her space down low. Had her pin, was looking to post off the missed three. Great spot for the offensive board.
Richard to Becky, working on Carruthers. And now it's Richard on Cook. Richard spins. The left won't go.
Yeah, a ton of contact there, but I like the spin back to her left. She spent the game taking everybody going right. You got to continue to mix it up.
Carruthers throws it up there, and she tries to shake Stuck, and Stuck is down, and she's grabbing her left leg.
The last one from Cook, just got herself that inside position. Wanted it deep on the post, they missed her, but when you stay active, that's when good things happen. And Elise Stuck is going to head to the bench. Keeper will come in for Ball State. I think they were trying to buy some time to find this keeper, dealing with a little bit of foul trouble. But that foot is what has given Elise Stuck issues all season. She's had not only concussion problems, she was in a boot for a while, just 8 games played during the regular season in conference play, but has had a good game here today in this MAC conference final.
And Cook, she picked up her 4th foul, so Novorosky is in for her. Cardinals up 3, 8 minutes left for a MAC championship title. And what a rebound by Kiefer. And there's a foul on the floor, and it's on Lakonowitz.
That comes from the activity of Ball State. They keep moving. Ball goes up from Becky. You've got to get to the weak side. And Kiefer does exactly that. No block out by Lakonowitz. That's where that traffic comes and the contact.
Kiefer tried to get it back to Becky, and she does. Becky down low working on Dykstra. Richard just trying to get around Novorosky. Bischoff on the move. The left hand. Novorosky throws it in the stands.
Bischoff has been quiet here this afternoon, scoreless for Ball State. One of those players that has helped them, but what a defensive stop by Toledo.
And look at Lakonowitz. Forever the leader, comes over and tries to get Novorosky settled down just a little bit. He's still got a lot of work left to do.
A lot of time left in this fourth quarter. You are absolutely right, Fran. How do you make that play? How do you find a way to get open? Now they're going to call a foul on Novorosky. She was holding Alex Richard.
And again, Lakonowitz, she's taking over in the huddle, trying to get everybody on the same page. The first on Novorosky. Austin tried to get at the keeper. Good active hands. Rockets have played great defense all contest.
They looked for that pick and roll out of the corner, but keeper wasn't there. Too much traffic in the paint.
Taylor Robinson skip pass to Lakonowitz in the corner. And now foul on Richard. Second for Richard.
She was battling, trying to get around Novorosky in the post, but because of the quick ball movement, they use the skip pass, then that puts you on the backside. And they got to beat him to the spot on that low block.
And Novorosky goes 6'5", so. And now quickly. Novorosky, and again.
The Whistles has now started to pile up against Toledo here. It's going to be a bit of a chess match down the stretch here in the fourth quarter. Now, if you're Goss, you've got to use that screen. You've got to allow her to get by, but instead she kind of tried the hesitation and comes back. Too much contact happens right out in front of the official. That whistle's going against you every time.
Vorosky goes to the bench, 6'5" grad student. Cook is back in. And Bischoff, she connects on the mark. It's her first three of the night.
Opens the floor from behind the three. We've seen her with the hot hand. She was just 3 of 10 from behind the arc yesterday in that semifinal win.
And she's a volume shooter. She'll let it go. Time that they've won the MAC championship.
Well, when you think that both of these teams, they split home and home this year. And so you get the rubber match here in a neutral setting, knowing what's on the line. Since 2001, 4 different conference tourney champions in the MAC, all wanting and vying for that automatic qualifying bid.
And Richard got her hands on the offering from Garcia. Becky to Richard again. The lead scorer, Alex Richard, red hot. She's got 18.
She's come to play. She's had a fantastic second half. Exactly the lift Ball State needed, and she's a matchup problem for Toledo.
And it's Richard again who beats Garcia to the basketball. Then we got a foul on Nan.
And the emotions continue to go, and they continue to rise. But as you turn that corner and find open players, that's what Allie Becky does all season. Now you see Richard after the bucket. She's out in transition. Garcia just not there, gets tripped up. Ball going the other way, and those are the hustle plays. He said it between quarters. Brittany Sully said, toughness is going to win. Who's going to get those 50-50 possessions? Who wants the loose ball, the offensive rebound, the one-and-done mentality on the defensive side? Right now, Ball State doing all of those things here in the middle of the fourth.
Cook with 4, Garcia and McConowitz with 3 each. Ball State on its biggest run, biggest lead, 50-42. There's contact, so they say no longer back. They're on a 14-2 run. This time, Robinson's able to get there, and they're going to call a foul on Becky, who just grabbed her. And didn't want that free pass to a basket.
Yeah, quick hands by Destiny Robinson, the 5'7" freshman guard, just applying that pressure. We've seen it all day. Ball pressure out front or in the half court against Ball State. Now these are the possessions right here for Ann, where if you are Toledo, you get the turnover, you squelch a bit of momentum. You got to find a way to convert and capitalize.
Goss up top, working on Becky. Carruthers set a couple of big threes. Shot clock down to 7. Robinson with a move on the 6'2" keeper. Goss for 3, and it comes up short.
That's a good look. If you go baseline, there has to be somebody to receive in that opposite corner. Goss can't get it to go, but that's the right play by the freshman point guard.
Ball State wants to set it up 8. And a great pass to Kiefer on the elbow. And McConowitz trying to keep it alive. And she does a nice job and knocks it off Ball State. McConowitz is doing everything. I mean, 5 steals, 6 rebounds, all over the place.
Ball's going to go up. Big miss from Kiefer. You had both Richard and McConowitz. Shocker to everybody that those two are in on the play. You know they are going to try to will their teams to a win here down the stretch.
Toledo's got to find some offense. They haven't scored in the last 4 minutes.
One of the toughest things is to be able to match possessions with this efficient Ball State offense. The droughts are what can kill you.
Seth Robinson trying to get inside of McConowitz, and that pass was tipped. And Michelle Austin back the other. Oh, Richard all the way in the paint, and it goes. And Bogus wants another timeout. Coming up here, great day of hoops for you on CBS Sports Network. Missy, Haley, and Fran with you here down the stretch. 4:25 left. And the MAC Women's Basketball Championship. McConowitz, and that won't go either. And it's Bischoff who comes up with a rebound. So Cardinals on their biggest run so far of the game, 16-2. And they started the quarter down 40-36.
The scoreless drought continues for Toledo, Fran, and that's what they couldn't have happened here in the second half.
How about Richard again? A boss move inside. Alex Richard continues her stellar play.
She's been fantastic. Double figures in the first 2 games of this tournament. And she has led from the front here for Ball State in the second half.
And we got a hell ball, and that is going to go to Ball State. All right, Haley, what do you have for the Rockets?
Well, I can tell you that they were not panicking in that last timeout. Coach got them all together and said, listen, we have been here before. We have been in more difficult situations. Makonowicz, one of the leaders on this team, looked at every single player in the eye and said, guys, let's lock in. This is our last opportunity to win a championship.
Well, they need to go here, down 12 with 3:30 left. Richard is just playing stellar basketball. Can't get that to go. Here's McConnell up the other way. And Carruthers, strong move to the rack, and it goes. Finally.
They needed that big time, Fran. You've got to be able to find a way to stop the drought. You get the stop on one end, makes on the other. It's very simple. Get stops, make shots.
And look at the veteran Becky completely slowing it down, trying to milk the shot clock. And they're going to wait now. Finally, to run their offense. Richard down the left side. Why not? She's done everything else smoothly today.
And with Jessica Cook with those 4 fouls, she can't put her at the free throw line. But Alex Richard had all this second half for Ball State today.
McConnowicz knows, got to go. Sweet speed, right-handed layup. And now Bischoff coming back the other way, but they'll slow it down. Find the protagonist.
And this is where Allie Becky is just so good, as you said, to be able to understand the situation, game clock, game situation, take time off as much as you can, good shots within the framework.
And she gets it back off to Richard, who is red hot, Cardinal hot. Alex Richard connects again.
She had a career-high 33 when these two teams matched up in February. She is on track to surpass that number today.
And one. The Rockets won't go away.
Yeah, this is where, if you are Toledo, you've got to be able to do this now without the clock running. The and one, a huge opportunity right here by McConnowicz to be able to get herself the line, coming off that double-double that she had in the semis against Buffalo. She's done a little bit of everything here today, trying to will this team, keep the panic at bay, and put herself in double figures. But you got to knock down free throws, and the pressure is going to have to come here now if you are Toledo. Much more look in the full court. See if you can't put them in a quick jump and run. You got to generate some tips, generate some turnovers.
And Richard, 22 points in the second half. She's got 26 for the game. Cardinals, they break the press. Garcia.
Took a slap right to the head. And Alex Richard continuing to just be and battle as she has all afternoon. A quiet first half. Challenged by the coaches, knowing their bigs had to be better, and Alex Richard has delivered here today.
And here you see the scoring there. 22 points in the second half, and Michael McConnell doing a nice job giving her a little time there. And it's hard foul from Garcia. It's point number 27. Jersey Mike's is the proud title sponsor of the NACIS Women's Player of the Year Award. Join us over the Final Four weekend as we highlight this year's winners right here on CBS Sports Network. 28 for the senior from Avon, Indiana. So Cook and Garcia with 4.
You've got to keep that in mind because they have been scorers and they continue to give them the presence that they need on the glass.
Fred Robinson with the miss. Up ahead. Austin to Richard. Oh! Here comes Robinson back the other way. Garcia's going to have to pull for 3. Steps back. Oh! Rounds it home.
Big 3 from Garcia. The first point she has had here this afternoon.
That is a big bucket. With 1:15 left, the lead down to 8. Little pressure from the Rockets. Keeper's going to get it across. And now Richard is going to pull it back out.
Smart decision right there by Ball State. You've got to have ball, 1 minute to go, and they can taste it. Their opportunity to get back to the NCAA tournament.
And Garcia trying to check Becky.
There's too much contact Toledo doesn't necessarily agree with that whistle, but now they have a chance here to set their pressure in the full court. Ball State elects not to take a timeout in advance.
They've advanced, Ball State has, to this tournament 35 times.
Had in that fourth quarter, and it set the tone.
Baseball pass down to Bischoff. She's going to hold it up. And Goss is called for the foul. 39 points here for Ball State in the second half. 24th at the hands of Alex Richard. And it's the 7th trip to the finals here. The MAC finals in Ball State in program history. It's 4th time they've owned the #1 seed. And they're trying to see if they can get that MAC championship for the 2nd time in school history.
Well, in a 25th anniversary of this MAC championship here in Cleveland. If I'm not mistaken, the Ball State men won it 25 years ago.
You're never mistaken.
And now this Ball State women's basketball program trying to come up with that W here this afternoon, knowing what's at stake. You win a regular season title, there's a ton of pressure. Big expectations and big goals. They've had them all season. This was circled at the very top of the list.
And the win for Brady Sally will be career win number 400. So a lot of good symmetry and chemistry. Destiny Robinson puts it in. And Lakonowitz quickly lays hands on Austin. But he talked about it as well, because look, Toledo the last 3 years, they won 3 regular season championships, but only won this tournament 1 time. So it's a different deal. As you see here now with Ball State. They won the regular season championship. They were picked preseason to be #1. But it's tough to come in and finish the deal.
Oh, you are absolutely right. I feel like this is that validation stamp that you're able to put on your season. But the hardest part about conference tournaments is you may have to beat a team twice. You may have to come in and try to beat them for the 3rd time. Everyone knows everybody's tricks. They know the scout. They've seen all the film. They know how to do it. Sometimes you've just got to put your teams in the trenches and let...
21.8 seconds left. And they're up 9.
That fouls to give now by Ball State. You're wondering why you're up 63-54. They have fouls to give. So go ahead and force Toledo to have to continue to inbound the basketball against pressure, not just get their offense set.
And now both teams are in the bonus. Lakonowitz, what a career she's had. Great move today.
Annie Lakonowitz.
Started 159 games, most in program history. We got another quick timeout on the floor.
30-second timeout, Ball State.
Ball State up now by 7. So what do you think here for this man right here, Brady Salim? Very affable. We had a good conversation with him yesterday. His 13th season here, but to finally, he's done a lot.
Yes.
But to finally be able to win this conference championship.
Well, you mentioned it. He is now on the cusp of 400 wins. All-time winningest coach in Ball State history. But there are certain things that elude you. And you think back the last time that this team has been who you are, but you got to peak in March, because you cannot leave your destiny. You cannot allow someone else to make that decision for you sitting in a room. Prove it yourself. Solidify what you want. Get that automatic bid. The Cardinals are on their way to the big game.
Becky breaks to the basket. Audrey Spencer, who's on the staff, she was on that 2000
Kendall Brothers.
of that one. And with 7 ticks left, Becky's going to dribble it out. And the Ball State Cardinals are the 2025